Welcome back. Dan Brown, The Lost Symbol is an all-new series as part of the Da Vinci Code franchise. I recently had the opportunity to speak with star of that series, Ashley Zuckerman. Let's take a look.
The Da Vinci Code franchise is getting new life with a new adventure series streaming exclusively on Peacock, Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol. Today I have the opportunity to speak with the star of the series, Ashley Zuckerman, about taking over the role of Robert Langdon. Ashley, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So if you don't mind, let's start with just a synopsis, a summary of The Lost Symbol.
Well, I think fans of the books or the movies will know that The Lost Symbol is actually the third book of the series. It comes after Angels and Demons and then the Da Vinci Code. But in our show, we've taken the book and transposed it to 20 years earlier and made it into an origin story. So in our story, Robert Langdon's a young Harvard professor. He hasn't really stepped outside of that world much. He hasn't, experienced the adventures of the Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons yet. And then very early in our story, he gets pulled in, like he gets co-opted by this zealot, this fanatic, to go on this to Robert Langdon, ridiculous puzzle-solving mission to uncover this ancient mystery. And the way this zealot does it is by taking his mentor and surrogate father figure hostage. So that's the show. That's how we start, at least.
And as I mentioned, you play Robert, which this role was originally made famous by Tom Hanks. How does it feel to be, playing the same role after Hanks?
The only thing I ever really felt about that was just, sort of just pride and honor that I know how much the character means to people, either from the books or from the movies. And so it was just, I was just honored to be able to be chosen to take it on. I think I never felt the pressure of it or anything. I think part of that was because we've transposed it to being an origin story so that we have distance from that. I think our show leans on the idea that whoever the Robert Langdon is in your mind when you start watching the show, we enjoy you coming to our show with that, because the character I play will one day become the person you imagine. So I think we had a lot of freedom, and it was just, it was only just a nice thing to be regarded in the same way.
And the show does a brilliant job of providing that distance that you mentioned. What is your favorite thing about playing the character of Robert?
Well, I think that hopefully he's a guy that I get to play for a long time, and through him I get to explore parts of myself. I think I look for that in any role I play. I try to uncover something, and I think there's something really interesting about him. He's a guy that knows a lot. He's deeply intelligent, but that doesn't give him freedom like knowledge usually does. It closes him down. And I really like that idea. I think that's something we investigate constantly. It's an interesting idea when knowledge actually stops you from connecting with people rather than bringing you closer together.
And there's so many fans kind of already built in, I don't know if that's fair to say, for The Lost Symbol. Do you feel a pressure of making sure you live up to their expectations, or is that just really a great advantage that so many people are aware of this and have knowledge about this?
I think it's only an advantage. I think, it's just nice. There's so much great television being made now, and it's very hard for it all to be seen and for it to catch. And so it's just a very nice thing that we're dealing with material that people already love and have a connection to. I have a lot of faith that our treatment of it is something that people will love and connect to. I think that they'll see the seeds of the story that they love and also see that it's something new. Yeah, I'm very very proud of it. So at this point, like, I'm only excited to see how fans of the material will connect to what we've done.
And yeah, I'm sure you're anxious for everyone to see this so you can talk more about it. But I'm curious, is there a certain scene or a part that you're really excited for everyone to tune into? Without spoiling anything, though. I don't want to do any of that.
I think there are some sequences that are pretty exciting. I'll say that there's something that happens in episode 4, which I'm pretty intrigued by. Any moment where like the unknown, or our show flirts with the supernatural, but in an interesting way that can always be grounded in reality, and there's always a question about whether it's supernatural or not. I think that's integral to the show. That there's something in episode 4 that I'm excited for people to see. Otherwise, I think that there's a very surprising relationship at the center of it between Robert Langdon and Catherine Solomon, his ex-girlfriend in the series, who starts as that, and it's a relationship that where they challenge each other, and I think that I'm excited for people to see how that ties into the show. I'm excited for people to see how unexpected that relationship is.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to tuning into Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol. It premieres Thursday, September 16th, and a new episode streams every Thursday on Peacock. Ashley Zuckerman, thanks so much for joining us today. I really appreciate your time with us.
Yeah, really appreciate it as well. Thank you.